What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and it's once again vlog time, and this time we have a new format for Let's Vape. Here we are in my room. I am back at the house recording with my little webcam here, and that's kind of part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I got this new fancy webcam and this really nice microphone that I plan on doing a nice sit-down, long kind of style vlog, and I really don't want to use my main camera to do that because I feel like it's kind of taken up a ton of memory for no apparent reason. So anyways, I'll be doing it on this little webcam here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with our topics today. My first topic is going to be the new format. As you can see, totally different. You guys are probably going to be seeing a blank background for right now. However, it is a green screen behind me, so I can put up whatever I want. For example, I can be in, Phil Basardo's studio. Just like that, I'm in Phil Basardo's studio. I can be in my own studio back at the other studio place. Just like that, there we are. We're back in my room. I can be anywhere I want. I can be out in the middle of space if I want to. And just like that, we're out in the middle of space. So, yeah, I'm just going to let you guys decide on what and where I'm going to be for these videos here. Whatever you guys want to see me do, I mean, that's where I'll be. If you want me in the middle of space, if you want, a bunch of cats behind me or something like that, I'm going to have a poll up on my Facebook page, so make sure you check that out. Links are going to be in the description for that, of what you want me to see, or what you want to see behind me. And, I mean, my room is boring. That's kind of why I decided to do the whole green screen thing, because my room is very boring and plain, and no one kind of wants to see my dirty bedroom anymore. So, you guys decide what you want to see there. I will give you a few suggestions, but I'm going to pretty much leave it completely up to you what you want to see behind me. And with that, of course, the changing in format, I'm also going to be leaving links for everything I talk about in the description below, as well as timestamps. So if you're one of those people that likes to skip around or likes to skip to a topic that you want to see, then check the description below. That's where you're going to find that sort of information. So yeah, that's basically the new format. Hope you guys like it. I've got this really nice microphone here, so hopefully it's picking up my lovely voice. But otherwise, it's going to be pretty much standard. I will have a warning that there might be a little bit of foul language in these videos. Not said by me. I'm a nice person, and I'm pretty much censored for myself at least. But any media that I might play or something like that is going to be uncensored. So just let that let you guys be aware of that. So let's go ahead and get started. So my first topic tonight is going to be what I'm vaping on. That's pretty much how I'm going to start every show from here on out. My first thing is going to be this new flavor right here, Redbird. Oh, everyone's been waiting a long time for that one. And I'm really, kind of excited to get it in the shop that I work at because I absolutely love their other flavor, Bluebird. So this one's even better. It's like a strawberry cheesecake with a little bit of cereal flavor in there as well. And that stuff is delicious. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Another thing I have is I just got a package from Save Your Vape, which is their new one called Dipped. Now hopefully, let's see if the autofocus will pick up on this at all. Doesn't seem to be. Anyways, it's a 60 ml bottle from the standard e-liquid, distributed by Save Your Vape. That one is a chocolate dip strawberry, which is really tasty. Actually, you know what? I could do this. Or I can change the focus. So maybe I'll just try this out. I'm gonna do it. See if you guys can see this. Oh, too close, too close. There we go. That's in focus. That's pretty good. So yeah, that's what we're looking at here. New flavor. It's totally unlike anything the standard e-liquid has done in the past. You probably remember them with Franken Vape or Tater. They had those little square bottles that everyone liked. I used to love them back in the day. I did a few reviews on them actually, And yeah, they've definitely changed. I mean, it came accompanied with this whole thing here that I'm supposed to read. I'm not going to read the whole thing on you or anything like that, but basically it says, when the standard came out years ago, we were all rocking an Ego Twist or Cardo tanks atop a Provari. A 15 mil lasted a couple weeks, and a 30 mil was a splurge when you made when you found an all-day vape. And that's basically the intro and kind of why they changed their format a little bit. So now they're definitely going to be appealing more to the cloud chaser type market. And I've got that right now on top of my Ruby mod here, which we'll be getting into that in a little bit. Actually, I got a new switch for this at VPX, which I'm pretty excited about because before it was hanging up pretty bad. Every time I pressed the button, it would hang up, and I was kind of worried it was going to start auto firing or something like that. So went up to the booth at VPX and I just said, I need a new switch, and they gave me one right there on the spot. But if you guys have the same kind of issues as I do, then you can send an email to newswitch@kennedyvapor.com. Of course, links in the description. I'm not even going to say that from now on. Links will always be in the description. So newswitch@kennedyvapor.com. That's going to get you a brand new switch for your Ruby mod. I'm hoping they didn't have the same problem when it comes to the Roundhouse. I'm really not sure because I don't own one myself. So that's what you got to do if you need a new switch. But for me, now it's working just fine, flawlessly. I know I get a lot of comments on my Ruby mod review video. I think it was the review where you could see a little bit of arcing, and I have to clarify that. I'll clear this all up right now. That was my own fault, and the reason it's my fault is because I didn't tighten the switch all the way down before I hit the fire button. I didn't even notice it until I watched the video and people started commenting on it. So no, that is not a fault in the design whatsoever of Kennedy or anything like that. That's all my fault. So my bad. I do apologize for any confusion there, but that was definitely my fault, not the manufacturer's. But I have dipped on top of here, and it is pretty darn tasty. I'm just going to take a quick vape off of this. It's like a rich dark chocolate, and that's kind of why I like it. It's got that real, dark chocolate kind of flavor to it. It's not a milk chocolate. It doesn't have a ton of sweeteners or anything like that. And it's just a really good chocolate. It's so hard to find. It's almost like brownie batter. If I had to compare it to something, I'd say it's almost like a real rich brownie batter. You get a nice light strawberry in there. The strawberry is definitely hidden under that layer of chocolate, but overall, that just rich chocolatiness kind of coats your mouth, but it's not too sickeningly sweet or anything like that. It's not doing too bad on my cotton so far. I re-wicked today, and it's a little bit dark, but it's not too bad. I feel like there is definitely some sweetener in there, but it's not too much. But that is still to be determined. I will get back to you guys on that flavor in a little bit. Let's see what else I got. I picked up something that was really cool at VPX, which is the Tornado by iJoy. Now, there's a guy got a little bit of juice on there. Now, first thing is I like that it fits the Half Moon Fat Bastard tips. That's one thing I really like. Let's actually get that in focus for you guys. So there you go. Here's the Tornado tank. It almost looks like a keg of beer. And I will be doing a build video on this in the very near future. Oh, my tip's not spinning. It fits pretty good. It's definitely got a little bit of wiggle room, but it fits pretty darn good. So this is like a Velocity style deck on there, which I really like. And it's super easy to build on. And the way they had it set up in the big banners at their booth, they had a quad coil on it, and it was Clapton. So I felt like kind of copying that design, and I did it myself. I posted it on my Instagram page a few days ago, so hopefully you guys have been paying attention have seen that. But that's what I did inside this tank here. No, that wasn't a Velocity. It was actually a tank. So I can actually rip that at 110 watts. I find is like my comfort zone for a tank with quad Claptons. The overall resistance, I did 10 wrap Claptons. Overall resistance is 0.24 ohms at 5.14 volts at 110 watts. And I'll just show you real quick how this thing rips. Yeah, that is amazing. The flavor on is top notch. Actually, I should show off the flavor too. I'm vaping some Hunger by the people that brought you Thirst. So there you go. I'm getting this whole focus thing down now. So there you go. This flavor is called Demolish. I can't remember the actual flavor profile. I believe it's a like peach mango iced tea or something along those lines. It's very tropical kind of vape. Tasty, very tasty. With the Claptons though, with this setup here, with the Claptons, it is so flavorful. It's like a punch you in the face flavor, and you get the full on density of your juice and everything like that of the actual vapor. So top notch, definitely the way to go. I will be doing a build video on this. I don't even want to touch the build deck right now for at least a week. So give me a week on these same coils and this same wicking here, and I'll be doing a build video on it because it's actually not that hard. I was kind of surprised. I surprised myself by, I mean, it's good if you know what you're doing and how you can cram everything into a smaller deck, but I don't know. We'll go over that in the full build video when I get to it. So yeah, let's see. We covered Redbird, dipped. Oh, the Rafale X Dripper. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring one home from the shop today, but I do have the new Rafale X Dripper. Pretty cool design. It's basically a 3-post or a 4-post, however you want to look at it, but the center post is actually neutral, so it's kind of like having a 2-post with the third post being completely out of the equation, so you can build a dual coil setup on it, but instead of dividing the resistance in half, you're actually adding the resistance. So if you have 2.5 ohm coils, that's actually going to measure out to a 1 ohm coil instead of a 0.25 ohm coil. So it's really interesting how that works out. That just makes it so you can build with more surface area with about the same resistance as like a standard dual coil. So I'll probably end up doing a build video on that as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting out the review before I do the build, but either way, you're going to see it up and close and in person and all that good stuff. So there's that. And that's pretty much it for what I'm vaping on right now. I do still have my setup here from the video that I did the other day on the Council of Vapor RST. Yeah, RST. And I'm still vaping on it, and it is good. A few things is just that, I mean, the tip still bugs me and all that, but everyone kept asking me about the torture test as far as the stout goes. I gave it a proper torture test at VPX. Let me just see if I can get that in focus for you first. It's a little bit harder to see with this lighting here, but you can definitely see the nicks all in the bottom there, which were not present in the actual review. So yeah, I definitely gave this thing a run for its money at VPX. I even got a nice big ding on the top part of it there, which I'm not too stoked on. There's a little scuff on the side somewhere too. That's really not even possible. Oh, maybe like that you can see it a little bit, but unfortunately, this thing is pretty much doomed to be covered up by a wrap or something like that. So, a little bit bummed, but I guess it is what it is. So moving on, we have shoutouts, and I'll cover this again at the end of the show, but if you guys want a shout out, just shoot me an email, dailyvapetv@gmail.com, and I'll be sure to shout you out, or anyone that you know, influential vapors, you know, anyone that you feel like that should be deserving of a shout out. Just let me know, and I will be sure to get that on next week's schedule. I'll be trying to do, about 45 minutes or so just to get rolling. Eventually, I hope to be able to go up to about an hour format, but for now, I feel like we'll only be at about 45 minutes or so. So starting off this week's shout-outs, I have to do everybody from VPX. First up being Daryl, aka Quest for Vape. He's been a huge supporter of mine, long-time supporter, and I just want to say thank you so much, Daryl, for everything that you did for me at VPX. He was working at the UL booth, and he not only hooked me up with Henry from UL, who gave me the Rafale X, but also he took me over to meet his buddies, all the other guys that were YouTubers out there that I still haven't met, or hadn't met up until VPX. But he also introduced me to the people from Coil Art, that is going to be awesome. Actually, I might cover that probably in next week's video. I got a ton of stuff from Coil Art. They make some really awesome coils. They make all sorts of crazy wire type coils in standard formats such as the Ego or the Joytech coils for like the Ego 1 style Addies, Kangertech, Crown, Arctic. They make a whole ton of different ranges of different coils, not only for temperature control, but also different types of Claptons and twisted wire like Hive wire and Alien coils. They do all sorts of stuff in there. So I will probably have another poll up next week. I think by next week I'll be able to cover it a little bit more in detail. But yeah, that's going to be a really cool thing. I got a ton of coils to try out for you guys. Next up is going to be Murph from Half Moon Mods. Big shout out to you, Murph. Thank you so much for all your support during VPX. I mean, he let me come hang out at his hotel room for a little bit before I could check into my hotel. I mean, I put my stuff all at his booth, which was really, 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 really great of him because my back was killing me after like the first couple hours. And also Kevin and Ashley from Vapor Stockroom. Big shout out to them as well. They were all at the same booth, but they are super nice people. I even let them walk away from the table and I sold their juice for a little bit just to, say thank you. I mean, really, honestly, I'm totally willing to help anybody out that helps me out. So thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. Sean from Plumes of Hazard. Great guy. He was pretty much one of the only ones to actually remember that it was my birthday weekend, and he kind of hung out with me, or let me hang out with him, I guess. I don't know. For those of you guys that watch the Plumes show, you know that he's a great guy. He was the only one there from Plumes of Hazard. I feel like I know Fubaka a little bit better, but Sean's a great guy, and I just wanted to thank him for letting me hang out with him and taking me out to dinner with my next shout out, which is going to be Jess Marie from Double Helix Designs. She actually let us come up to her room on my birthday. Actually, on my birthday, we went up to Jess Marie's suite and hung out there with everybody, and that was a really good time. Just nice of her to kind of share her space with us, which is cool. Next up is Squid Dude and Twisted Messes. The builders, those guys are awesome. Kent, really great guy. He actually gave me something that I'll be showing off probably in the next edition of Let's Vape. But I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it to be a little bit of a secret. He also gave me a Twisted Messes RDA, which is super nice of him. Not necessarily for my birthday. We were talking about me doing a review of it for a very long time. I know I'm late to the game as far as the Twisted Messes RDA is concerned, but I will be doing a review of that as well. Squid Dude, his juice won Best of Show or something like that. He definitely won some sort of award, which is awesome. So congratulations, Squid Dude. So yeah, let's see. And now I'm going to just basically cover all of the reviewers and YouTubers. So Grim Green, Ruby Roo, Mike Vapes, Phenom, Daniel from DJ LSB Vapes, Mark Vapin Fagan, Tony from Vapor Trail Channel, Brian Vapor Chronicles, and Mike Vape. So all of those guys, and of course Daryl Quest for Vape, were there at VPX. Super nice guys, so accepting of me. I don't get to see many YouTubers very often, especially those that don't get to go out to a lot of shows. So for me to finally catch up with those guys and just talk shop a little while and just kind of see what everyone else does, I just think it's kind of eye-opening for me and just a nice refresher. So yeah, that is my shout out section for this week. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. And again, if you want a shout out, just make sure you drop me an email at dailyvapetv@gmail.com for you or any influential vapor or anyone that you know that you think deserves a shout out. So now we're going to cover one of my favorite topics, beer. So let's just have a drink first. And I'll tell you what I'm drinking. So today I have some Hop Devil, and hopefully I'm sure the green screen is going to pick up that little devil there. But that is a India Pale Ale, or IPA, from Victory Brewing Company. They've been around since 1996. They're from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. This particular brew here is 6.7% alcohol by volume. I'm not sure the IBUs. I wish it said the IBUs because it's definitely up there. I've had a lot of hoppy beers and I really enjoy hoppy beers, and this is definitely pretty high on the list. Yeah, it doesn't say the IBUs, or International Bittering Units. I believe that's what that stands for. But this is definitely one of the hoppier ones. It's very bright though. It's not too overbearing. The alcohol content is a little bit on the high side for what it is. However, it is a decent IPA. This one is American whole flower hops and German malts, and I feel like it's very aromatic. Like, it definitely has a very strong scent to it. As you can see, it's a nice dark amber color. It leaves a little bit of nice lacing on there, and the head is pretty white. It's not too dark, but yeah, it's not too overpowering. Very floral. You can really taste the hops in there. And I just noticed I have a hair in it. Great. I have a dog hair in my beer. I'm going to drink it anyways. But yeah, that's one that I have today. Later on, I might be getting into some of this Dirt Wolf. There we go. I wonder if I forgot to focus on the one before. There we go. There we go. So there's Dirt Wolf. This one's 8.7 ABV, alcohol by volume. Same brewer, Victory. And that one is basically the double version of what I have. Definitely more powerful. A little bit more noticeable in the alcohol content, but I was kind of surprised because you don't notice it as much in the double as you do in the Hop Devil single. So kind of surprised by that. I'm probably going to be doing a beer or some sort of kind of drink segment during these Let's Vape sessions. So again, this is one for the timestamp people out there. Hopefully you guys don't mind me doing that. So yeah. If I had to pair it with something that I'm vaping right now, I'd probably say the peach mango iced tea. I really like that combination because you get the fruitiness of the vape, and then you get the floralness and the bitterness from the beer, and it just kind of complements each other. And that's what pairing is all about. It's not meant to be complementary, so to speak, or rather, it's not supposed to be the same kind of flavor. So if you had, let's say a German Hefeweizen or a Weissbier or something like that, a white, and you paired it with an orange kind of citrusy flavored e-liquid, that's just matching. It's not necessarily pairing. You want something that's going to contrast and kind of complement each other just right, and that's kind of what I like to do. So let's just go ahead. I'm just going to take a sip real quick, and then I'm going to have a vape on this, and I'm going to just enjoy it. And that's a nice little contrast there. I do like that. And honestly, that's one of the things, one of the first times I met Grim Green that we talked about was the fact that we both love beer so much, and we both know a lot about beer. And it's one of my passions. It has been since before I started vaping, and I kind of wanted to just bring it into this segment here just to kind of give you guys a feel for who I am besides the vapor and the reviewer. So that's basically my goal. But I don't feel like I should have to explain myself, I guess. If you guys want to skip it, then you're going to skip it. That's all there is to it. But anyways, moving on. Now we're going to be talking about a little bit more serious topics, which is the FDA deeming regulations. I know it's a hot topic right now and everyone's talking about it, but I just kind of wanted to wait until the firestorm kind of died down a little bit before I went and got into it, because the last thing you guys need right now is too much information. If you get like a piece of information over here and then someone contradicts that and then this other person contradicts both of them, you don't know who to believe and what to do. So I'm just going to give you a few little talking points about the FDA deeming regs, and I'll just leave it at that. I mean, obviously there are more important things to talk about. Well, not more important, so to speak, but, you know, happier things, I guess. You want to think happy thoughts during these dark times. So first of all, in the short term, as far as consumers go, you guys aren't going to see many changes. And that's because nothing is going to be directly affecting you right off the bat. What you will notice, however, is a lack of new products. What they're doing is they're stifling innovation by, excuse me. They're stifling innovation by forcing everyone after August 8th to not be able to come out with new products unless it goes through the PMTA process. So what that means for you is no new products, no new juice. What you're seeing right now is an explosion in the market because everyone's trying to force out the last couple of products before this happens. And you'll notice a lot of new juice lines and a lot of new hardware and everything like that. And people preparing for this August 8th. And CASA just launched their website, which is august8th.org, which you definitely should go check out. And that's going to give you up-to-date information, basically on a day-to-day basis, on what's going on with the FDA regs. So make sure you go check that out, guys. Of course, links down there, blah. But anyways, so you're going to see basically a lack of innovation from August 8th until, you know, the end of the year, or until things change for that matter. And let's see, after, so yeah, lack of new products, smaller businesses, smaller juice lines, and smaller vape shops are probably not going to make it through the first initial wave of these FDA regs. So you're going to see a few of your, you know, favorite locations close down, unfortunately, because they just can't manage it without getting new products, new juice lines, etc. in. So they're not going to be able to maintain their sales, which means they're going to have to close their doors. I mean, I've seen a couple of shops already do this, which is definitely not a good thing in my humble opinion. And of course, the smaller juice lines, mom and pop, you know, they don't even want to, you know, anything to do with this. So they're going to get out of the game pretty quick and probably reinvest their money in other places. Unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's probably what you're going to be seeing. Also, I love the quote that Ruby Roo said over the weekend, which was, "Let's save the children by saving their parents." And that's absolutely true because you see all the time, oh, save the children, think of the children, you know, children this, children that. And no one really thinks about the parents. And this is basically a way, e-cigarettes, vaping, all this stuff is a way for us to help ourselves to help our children and future generations. So yeah, let's save the children by saving their parents. You know, obviously you quit smoking, you're going to live longer. There you go. And I mean, let's give us the freedom of choice to be able to choose what we want to do, whether it be, you know, using pharmaceuticals, the patch, the pill, the gum, etc., or vaping. You know, give vaping its own option. But that's what the FDA is doing. They're just taking away that option for millions of people. So I'm going to quickly go over some long-term effects, which first is after 2 years, if nothing changes with legislation or litigation, 99.9% of vapor products will be banned. And that's straight up the truth. Let's put it this way, to put it into perspective. Within the past, I think it's like 5 or 6 years, only one product that went across the FDA's desk in this category was able to pass through. So even if there's big vapor companies that comply with these regulations, they don't necessarily have to approve them. They can just take their money and hit that no stamp on it and just deny them. So it's a money grab, basically. And yeah, and that's pending with the current legislation and litigation. Obviously, I'm talking about the Cole Bishop and HR 2058, as well as the lawsuits that have been filed from Halo, whatever I forget their parent company name, and Lost Art also has filed suit, and a few other companies are planning on filing suit as well. And my advice really to anyone out there that might be watching from a bigger company is don't give in to this legislation and don't just lay over and pay your money, because they're probably not going to pass you anyways. I mean, their testing standards are insanely high, and you have to be able to repeat the same exact process over like 30 times from what I gather. Again, this is going by all the information that I've been kind of gathering up over the past couple of weeks, so I'm a bit scattered right now. Also, let's see, we will be ushering in a new era of prohibition, although the FDA claims it's not a ban. And I have to use air quotes for that. I actually put that in my vlog notes. It's not a ban, although they're planning on being able to regulate out 99.9% of products that are on the market today. So how is that not a ban? I don't understand that. I mean, you're basically putting regulation on all these products in order to get rid of them, essentially. And they knew right from the get-go that a lot of these companies would just kind of say, we give up and disappear. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but that's probably the case for most companies if nothing changes within the next 2 years. So they're ushering in a new era of prohibition. I mean, we saw it happen with the alcohol industry in the 20s, and look what happened. I mean, people were still able to get their booze, but it was on the underground market, and that's basically what we're going to be doing. We're going to be having a huge gray market for this stuff. I mean, mods are going to triple in price after the ban. E-liquid is going to be a hot commodity, and it's going to triple in price as well, guaranteed. And it's a more dangerous market. And that's really the crucial thing that you have to understand, is that it's like 10 times more dangerous than what we have now. I mean, if there's no standards according to the FDA now, think about what you're doing when you have people using nicotine that is meant for agriculture, and glycerin that's meant for skincare, and things that just aren't meant to be vaped, and people will be vaping them. I can almost guarantee that, which is so much more dangerous than what we're looking at right now in our current market. So yeah, there will be a gray market for e-liquid and stuff like that, and you're going to have these people that are stockpiling nicotine and VG and PG and flavorings, but think about how much more dangerous that is to everyone else out there. I mean, it's going to be like it's a drug, you know. They're regulating us like we're the next heroin or something like that. But I don't know. I hate to even use those words, because hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But we're back to blues, views, and Mark 10s at best. I mean, we're talking Cigalikes. They're going all the way back about 7 years ago. What was on the market 7 years ago? Pretty much nothing in this industry. You're talking Generation 1 Ecigs that are just the standard Cigalike type batteries and pre-filled cartridges. That's about all you're going to find. So unfortunately, we're left with what Big Tobacco had to offer 7 years ago, as opposed to I mean, look at what I've got in front of me, 250 upgradable watt mod with, a huge tank that supports quad coils. I mean, if you like your TFV4, if you like your Ruby mod, if you like your Tugboat or whatever, then this is what you need to stand up for. This is it. This is crunch time. And I mean, I'm not the only one that has a voice. You guys out there all have a voice as well. We'll go over that in one second here. So yeah, I put down in my notes, it won't be hard to find products, but it's about the current smokers right now, the current smokers that are going to have a hard time, getting a hold of these products to try quitting using vapor products. So unfortunately, it's not about us. It's not going to be about us. It's about the future generation of, current smokers that want to convert and want to quit. And they just basically give them no other option. And for some vapors, it's going to transform them back into smokers. Unfortunately, that's just the way. That's all the FDA cares about. I feel like they want you to go back to smoking. And it's just, I don't know. It's so sad, and it's so terrible that no one can see this stuff. I don't know. I'm getting off topic again. What you can do. CASA.org. Number one, first and foremost, join CASA. They've seen an influx of, they've seen an influx of new members, which is awesome. You know, I remember a couple of years ago when CASA first started an Instagram account, they wanted to get them to 20,000. There's people out there that said, we want CASA to have 20,000 Instagram followers. They got like 2,000 because advocacy is not sexy. It's not vape models. It's not hand checks. It's not clouds and tricks. It's advocacy. It's fighting for your right to vape. Unfortunately, it's not one of the more, popular topics to talk about on social media. However, what you can do right now is go to CASA.org, sign up for a membership. They have a form that you can fill out and send to your local and state and national representatives, as well as the president. So fill that out with your personal story. There's a whole thing all set up for you. Just all you got to do is write in your personal story and click send, and there you go. It's a form letter. It's going to be sent right out. Make phone calls, because emailing is not the only way to contact your state and federal representatives. Of course, you can just call their office. They have people standing by all the time ready to take your calls, and they do actually listen to them. So make sure you give them a call. Of course, CASA has all that information on their website. All you have to do is just go ahead and click the links in the description. August8th.org, that's another one. Like I said, it's current information on all these regs and what's going on. There has been a coalition between CASA, Not Blowing Smoke, and SFATA, so that's a great thing. I feel like teaming up, everyone's going to be able to have more of a voice and more power than just one or two organizations. So that is definitely a big thing for us, and I saw a big kind of push towards advocacy at VPX. I'm just going to play really quick a clip here of what went down. Warning, not safe for work. There is some foul language in there, but I'm just going to play a real quick clip up here somewhere so you guys can see it. And it was a pretty brutal scene.
Today's date is August 8th, 2018, and you're out of business.
Could you start making a liquid for me called Going Out of Business? And can you make sure it's bitter and sour?
The FDA is here. They are taking these products away now.
All right, so yeah, it was an interesting thing to see at a vape event like that. I mean, they had about 150 people over at the main stage where they were talking, and they were straightforward with it. I really like Alex Clark's little speech that he did. So yeah, make sure you're supporting HR 2058 and the Cole-Bishop bill, because the Cole-Bishop bill is bipartisan, which means it has both parties, Democrat and Republicans, involved, which is good for us in general. They do kind of contradict each other a little bit, and there are different things that are good and bad for us in both. However, I feel like that's our best chance. 2058 is not dead. Don't believe anything that you hear online about it being dead. Don't listen to people that say only support one or the other. Support both. That's what everyone's saying, so support both, period. That's all you have to do. My final little thing on the FDA regs is you have a voice, use it. I'm sitting here talking to my webcam and talking to you guys out there about this, so you guys can all do that as well. So get on your little soapbox and preach, whether it be to non-vapers, non-smokers, whether it be to your friends and family. Doesn't matter. Educate people on what vaping is and how it affected you and your family and your lives and your loved ones. and just tell people about it. I mean, I take the opportunity every chance I get, if I'm on an airplane or something and someone, strikes up a conversation with me, I tell them my story. I tell them how I was a smoker and how e-cigs basically saved my life. So feel free to do that as well. Everyone has the chance to do this 100 times a day. Do it. That's all there is to it. Start a YouTube channel if you want. Everyone has a voice. All you got to do is use it. So next up we have the New Jersey flavor ban, also known as S298, banning all flavors except tobacco, menthol, and clove, which is kind of weird because in my state, Massachusetts, they banned clove cigarettes. For what reason, I'm not sure, but okay. So basically in Jersey, they're going to have tobacco, menthol, and clove flavor. That's it. And I don't know about you guys, but I didn't quit on tobacco, menthol, or clove. I did use menthol in my liquid, but it was more the fruit flavors that kept me off smoking. The menthol only goes so far for me personally, at least. So yeah, the rally was really good. Gregory Connolly showed up, and there was about 100 people there. They only had about 30 or 40, I believe, go inside the State House themselves to speak because they had limited time. But overall, I feel like it was a positive show of force, at least for Jersey. There's a lot of people there, rallying against S298. But unfortunately, it passed the first committee, which was a public health committee. So, hold on. So, I feel like it's going to be harder for us to get through public health committees than anything else. It's all about the children with public health committees. So, unfortunately, it passed through the first committee and it's moved on. It was supposed to move to the House, but instead got put onto a budget committee, which is the next round. It's going to be on a budget committee, which is almost beneficial for us because that way they're going to listen more to the numbers. It's not so much about the personal stories of vapors. It's about the numbers. So it's about how much money these people stand to lose if this ban goes into effect. I mean, there's already been a Clean Air Act for the past was it 2000? I think it was instilled in 2008 or something like that. So there's been a Clean Air Act in New Jersey for quite some time already. And unfortunately, now they're facing a flavor ban. So this is basically them trying to get rid of the vapor industry in Jersey. So hopefully they realize that there's hundreds of business owners in New Jersey standing to lose millions of dollars. If these stores have an average sale per year of $1 million, that's a lot of tax revenue that they're not going to be seeing, and hundreds of employees out of employment, relying on state aid and stuff like that. So hopefully they have their ears open during this budget committee. But I guess one can only hope. Now, my next segment is going to be a little bit different. I am actually going to be, this is basically my reaction to a few videos that I've seen recently. So hopefully this works. I'm going to really pray. I've got everything queued up here. I'm actually going to be putting on my headphones real quick. All right. And first up we have Ben Swan from CBS affiliate WGCL 46 in Atlanta, Georgia. I caught wind of his segment called, I think it's Reality Check, but it was a really good piece, and I posted it on my Facebook page, so let's just go ahead and have a watch real quick.
Well, the FDA has been creating a new series of rules and regulations to take e-cigarettes under its authority. But are the new rules actually creating more dangers for smokers? This is a reality check you won't see anywhere else. Now, before we get into what the FDA is trying to do, it's important to understand the difference between a regular cigarette and an e-cigarette. With a traditional cigarette, the user lights tobacco on fire and then inhales the smoke. And it's not just the tobacco that's harmful, but dozens of chemicals in tar which contain numerous carcinogens. Well, compare that to e-cigarettes, which first of all vaporize e-liquid that contains nicotine and various additives such as flavors. E-cigarettes are still fairly new, only about a decade old, so it's not known exactly with certainty how dangerous they might be.
Now, right there, I'm just going to pause the video and just say, so far, so good. I mean, he's doing a great job of not being too far one way or the other. It's kind of just the factual information out there. And right about now is when it starts getting good. So pay attention to this next part here.
The rule also will allow the FDA to evaluate the ingredients of these additional tobacco products, how the products are made, and their potential impact on public health.
Okay, but get this, the UK's Royal College of Physicians has stated that the risks of e-cigarettes are actually unlikely to exceed 5% of the risks of smoking.
Now, again, I'm just going to pause it right here. There you go. Royal College of Physicians. That's the study that all of us have been kind of banking on for the past couple weeks. And hopefully the word gets out there a little bit more about this, because there's been numerous studies, according to all the anti-vaping people, one way or the other. And it all tends to favor, the children. Think of the children. Teen vaping has gone up, etc., etc. So, just having this study being done by the Royal College of Physicians, which is a pretty major thing, I feel like that's going to definitely help us. So let's continue.
That's 1/20th of the danger. Now, with that information, you would think that the FDA would see e-cigarettes as a better alternative to traditional cigarettes. And yet, the FDA has now finalized a plan to bring e-cigarettes under its authority. The FDA has announced that those changes include banning sales to minors. Nearly every e-cigarette product will need to go through FDA approval, and that includes every individual device, and every flavor will require a separate application.
Again, gonna pause it real quick. Thank you. Finally, someone says the truth and what this will entail with the FDA. Someone tells it like it is. Thank you. Continue.
That is incredibly expensive. Each application costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars to complete. That means for many of the nearly 200 or so companies that create e-cigarettes, they will not be able to innovate, and many of them will go out of business. So what you need to know is that under these new rules, e-cigarettes will go through the law's most rigorous and expensive approval process, under which companies must show the FDA with extensive scientific evidence, sometimes including clinical research, that approving the product is, quote, appropriate for the protection of public health. Okay, but when new research shows that fewer people are smoking traditional cigarettes, which we know causes cancer, which we know kills people, than they have in 20 years, and research also shows a direct result of e-cigarettes as to why fewer and fewer people are smoking, how is that not proof enough of being positive for public health? That's Reality Check. Let's talk about that tonight on Twitter.
And of course, I will recommend you to go check out Ben Swan's Twitter. I just want to, give him a big shout out and show him some love. He's on Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff. So I'll drop links in the description below if you guys want to check him out. Make sure you say a big thank you, because he's finally spreading the truth about e-cigarettes and vaping. It's about time the mainstream media kind of caught up and, learned that the FDA is really just trying to take us over. And that's what it's all about there. So kind of flip-flopping a little bit here to the Samantha Bee show on TBS. One of her correspondents was at Vape Northeast at Foxwoods, which was back in March, which I attended. So I do have something to say about this here. So let's go ahead and watch this clip, which I'll be playing on screen right now.
Welcome back to the show. New government regulations on e-cigarettes could give big tobacco a huge advantage in the growing vape market. Who will stand up for the artisanal makers of e-liquids like unicorn puke and dragon jizz?
Right there, I'm going to pause it and just say, yeah, see, this is what happens when you make the crazy names. Unfortunately, the mainstream media is going to get a hold of it, and this is what happens. Let's continue.
We talked to some vape enthusiasts to find out.
Vaping and e-cigarettes, a market where big tobacco has struggled to compete, despite an endorsement for this product from a renowned medical expert. Instead, it's thousands of independent small stores and manufacturers that dominate this fast-growing sector of the douche economy. But those companies could soon vanish like some sort of metaphor, the victim of expensive new FDA regulations.
Manufacturers, many of them small companies, will have to undergo a lengthy federal review in order to stay on the market.
Unlike their smaller rivals, the big tobacco companies can afford to comply with the new rules and naturally lobbied for them in order to crush their puny competitors. I wanted to meet these endangered small vape entrepreneurs without actually having to meet them. Also, I've got certain contractual conflicts. Who could I send? I wasn't getting along with my friend Alana, so...
Alana? Do you want to go to a vape convention?
What?
A vape convention. It's so glamorous. You're going to talk to so many cool people. Okay, you can take over the voiceover now. Bye.
Well, hold on a second.
Voiceover? I don't know how to do a... Hey! It's working! I'm going to a vape convention to meet some wholesome, heroic small business owners. Nope.
Get in there, go! Get!
Shit.
All right, pausing there briefly. I will say that this is the first instance of this type of media trying to enter our little realm. And to an outsider's perspective, yes, it is kind of scary, I guess it would be the word. Interesting, I guess I would put it as interesting, because we're a special breed, and you guys know that. But yeah, this is kind of an outsider's look on the vaping industry. Me, myself, as well as my, co-host for the show that I do on Tuesdays and Fridays, Jay, avoided these cameras at all costs. We actually had a good sit-down lunch with Phil Basardo, and we kind of went over, what was going on here, etc. And we all kind of agreed that we need to avoid these people at all costs, because no matter what they film probably hours and hours and hours of footage. They're going to spin it their own way and find a way to make us look bad. So this is what happened.
These people don't look like the owners of small businesses. They look like the people breaking into small businesses. But when I spoke with them, I found people passionate about their cause.
The media is giving us such a bad name by not focusing on the good that it's helping. No one sat down and said, you know what? This is helping people quit smoking. This is stopping people from dying.
It might also be because they're looking at you guys and you don't look like the beacon of health. That might be happening too.
So is vape...
So again, pausing real quick, just a little showcase. I love that first little interview because it kind of gave a good precedent for what we're doing. And he was definitely the best interviewee out of the bunch here. What follows is kind of just a mishmash of different little cliques in the vaping industry.
Being healthier? Just ask the guys from Philly Cheesesteak Entourage.
Vaping changed my life. I smoked 2.5 packs of cigarettes since I was, 12.
Do you feel like you're a lot healthier?
I can breathe a lot better.
Sorry, did you say you can read a lot better?
No, reading still sucks. I can breathe a lot better.
For the uninitiated, vaping uses a battery-powered unit to turn so-called e-liquids into vapor. The liquids have artful names like monkey spunk and pussy juice. And
gonna pause it again. Yeah, again, bringing up the ridiculous names. Kind of something I've always disagreed with. I mean, you can come up with a creative name, by all means, but overly sexualized and stuff like that, there's no need for it. I mean, I don't know. We're going to get a lot of bad rap for that. That's all there is to it. Continuing.
Contain flavor agents, optional nicotine, and other stuff. Yes, perhaps the FDA should regulate these juices, but at least one study suggests vaping is safer than smoking. And vaping has other benefits. One company helps veterans by donating the earnings from their vape juice. Fuck ISIS.
Fuck ISIS. Fuck everything they stand for. Fuck ISIS.
So what flavor is Fuck ISIS?
It's a strawberry peach infusion.
It was inspiring that these men wanted to bone ISIS with their refreshing juice.
It's a good spring and summer vape.
And yes, while many people here look like Puff the Magic Fred Durst, there was also Elizabeth. She's a veteran.
I got out of the military and I opened a vape store.
Now she could lose it all.
I don't want to quit selling vape until there's no more smokers.
And as she told me her story,
I'm here trying to, like, save my business.
And kept telling me her story.
Communism, socialism, you'll find it in our food supply.
Or some kind of story, I'm not sure what.
You still let people sell whipped cream in the grocery store.
I realized something. I'm missing the party! Wait, what am I doing? Who is this man? This dinosaur has a really big tongue. Hey, you know what? Screw you, Big Tobacco. These guys are okay by me. Is vaping glamorous? Of course. Would it be effective to penetrate ISIS with a variety of spring fruits? It's worth a try. Is vaping healthier than smoking? Adrian Grenier has never looked better. But unless the new FDA rules are overturned by Congress or the courts, these small companies may all be wiped out. And with them, this majestic culture.
Thank you, Alana. We will be right back.
All right, so as you saw, not the greatest kind of showcase of what we're all about. However, I feel like it could have been a lot worse. I mean, people were really excited that there were TV cameras there and everyone wanted to be on TV and everything like that. However, I just wanted to stay as far away from that as possible. I knew that they were going to take that information, what they recorded and everything, and just kind of spin it their own way. But overall, not such a bad piece, if I do say so myself. It could have been a whole lot worse. However, I still would say avoid sharing that as much as possible, just because it does kind of give us a bad name, especially with the e-liquid names and stuff like that. I mean, they don't get 100% of the facts like correct and all that, so avoid sharing that. I just wanted to showcase that a little bit, but it is what it is. Luckily, I guess the Samantha Bee show is not, the most popular out there, so not a million, billion, quadrillion people saw that, which is a good thing. Ben Swan piece still gets my vote for a really good piece on vaping. But anyways, guys, that about does it. Actually, it looks like we did just about an hour. I want to remind everyone, if you want to get a shout out in my next vlog video, make sure you drop me a line at dailyvapetv@gmail.com. I will have all the timestamps, links, everything like that in the description below if you want to check out anything that we went over tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the first full-on edition of Let's Vape. This is basically going to be the format for the show from now on. Of course, check out the link in the description for the background or backdrop vote here, whatever is going on behind me. So yeah, that about wraps up the show, guys. Of course, comments in the box below. I'd love to talk to you about anything that went on in this video. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to talk to you guys down there. So if you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Just stay tuned for next week's video, Let's Vape video. Until then, I'll have my reviews and my coverage of VPX out in the very near future. Make sure you stay tuned for that because it's going to be a good one. And of course, check out the advocacy links down there. Got them down there for you so you can fight for your right to vape. And last but not least, check me out on my different social media pages. I have Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that good stuff. Links, blah, blah, blah. So that about does it, guys. And as always, vape on.